How does it feel to play those old songs, Paul?
Great.
Sounded great.
Thank you, yeah. It feels really good, because some of them we, with the Beatles, we've given up touring, like Sgt. Pepper and Hey Jude, so I've never played them live before till this tour. So they kind of feel really fresh to do, you know. It's groovy, man. It's great. I love it here, you know.
Any thoughts about, of course, the band, the Beatles from the old days, and of course the Paul is dead rumor? I mean, did you think about maybe not coming here?
No thoughts whatsoever about things like that.
Paul, you made a
It's, you know, those are just boring things from the past.
You made a comment last night about how you took a lot of your musical roots from the city. Were you just referring to Motown, or were there other things?
I mainly meant Motown, yeah. We were major fans of black American music, a lot of which came from this city. So
You met a lot of the Motown people during your visits here and in London too, right?
yeah.
Any particular favorites? Or?
I love them all, you know. It was such a period, and it kind of happened alongside us happening. It was like the English beat boom and the black Motown boom. It was great. So we were good mates, you know, like Diana Ross, Supremes, and then we were kind of contemporaries happening together. It's great.
Having any Motown artists do a guest shot with you last night?
Well, the thing about this show is it's kind of difficult to work in guests. We've sort of got the show set now. Really, the only person who's guested so far is Stevie in L.A., who was Motown, as you know. He guested in there. But that was easy because we do Ebony and Ivory in the set. It's just not too easy to open up the set, you know, when you get to this kind of stage with the production.
What made you decide to tour after 13 years?
Mainly the fact that I got a good band. You know, I've been recording and kind of doing solo stuff and just doing little guest spots on things like Live Aid and shows like that. But during the recording of this Flowers in the Dirt album, the band felt really good, you know. We've got a sense of humor in common, and they're good musicians too. So it was either a question of saying goodbye, see you next album, or like, you know, should we stay together? And if you stay together, it's like, what should we do? Let's go on tour, you know.
Great part of the LP. A lot of critics are quick to judge anything that you or any of the other Beatles do. How did you go into this LP mentally? Do you ever get to the point where, like, writers, to heck with them, I'm going to shove one down your throat? How did you get ready for this LP?
Yeah, I get to that point often. Well, I was not that pleased with the album before it, which was Press to Play. I just wasn't that keen on it. So I did want to make this one better and shove it down a few people's throats. You know, I'm quite happy with the album itself. You know, it's some nice songs on it.
Coming out on the road, has coming out on the road re-inspired you to maybe go back in the studio a little earlier than you have in the past and come up with something different?
Not really, but it's good for you getting out on the road. It's a stimulating thing, you know, actually see your fans instead of sort of just get letters from them. Actually see their faces, you know, it really lifts you.
You're doing stadium promotional experience last night.
Excuse me, huh? Go ahead, ladies first, come on.
In your program last night, I noticed that you said the best thing you like about touring is the audience, and we always hear so many great things from stars like yourself about Detroit. Was the audience last night as good as you expected?
It was a serious audience last night, really. We've just been playing, pardon? Seriously good, seriously fab, seriously doody. We just come from England and Wembley, which was great series of concerts. We did 11 on the trot kind of thing. But the English are a little more reserved, you know. They get going, but it takes them like half an hour. This audience, it didn't take them but a second. It was, ah!
How does you and Ellis stack up to the other venues?
How does what? This is brilliant. I really like this place. Yeah, well, all of us are very impressed with this building.
You're doing stadium shows, right?
Last night, a lot of people said it was an emotional experience. People that were our age group,
yeah.
And even the younger people, bring back the 60s. Why did it take 20 years for you to come back out and finally play the classic Beatles songs?
When the Beatles broke up, it was kind of a little bit difficult. It was a bit like a divorce. And you didn't really want to do anything associated with the ex-wife kind of thing. You know, you didn't want to do her material, if you understand what I mean. So all of us took that view independently. You know, John stopped doing Beatles stuff, George, Mick Ringo, we all did. Because I think it was just painful for a while. It was just painful memories. But enough time's gone by now. And the last tour I did in '76 with Wings, we avoided a lot of Beatles stuff because of that. So now it feels really kind of a natural to now get back to those songs. It's a question of either getting back to those songs or ignoring them for the rest of my life. So it just felt good. The timing just felt good. And as I say, some of them I haven't actually done before. And I didn't realize that till we were rehearsing with the band. I thought, this feels great, Sgt. Pepper. I mean, why is this so great? And someone reminded me, they said, you've never done it. You know, it's like a new song to me. So it was just the right time to come back with that stuff.
Will there be a time when you get together with George and Ringo, not really a reunion without Paul, without John, but kind of a jam?
Well, I don't know, you know, that's always on the cards, but a reunion as such is out of the question because John's not with us, you know. They would have to, the only reunion you could have had would have been with John. But like you say, you know, we might easily get together. There's a couple of projects that are possible now, that we've solved our business differences. So, you know, I don't know, I haven't actually seen them. I've been living this whole thing through the press. People said to me, George said he won't do it. And I haven't even spoken to him yet, you know. Pardon?
Why did it take so long to resolve your business differences?
Have you ever been in a lawsuit? I was in one for the last 20 years, you know. It just took forever. What happens is you get your advisors and they get theirs. And then lawyers, I think, are trained to keep things like that going. It's the first rule in law school, you know, keep it going.
Do you regret that you didn't get together when the four of you did have an opportunity?
Which was that?
Do you regret that the four ex-Beatles never got together again after the breakup before John died?
Well, yeah, I regret it, you know, but I mean, this is life, you know, it just didn't happen, you know. It's for a number of reasons. It would have been great, but John not dying would have been even better.
How do you think of Eastern Europe? What's going on in Eastern Europe?
I think it's very exciting. To me, it seems like the '60s kicking in. That's my point of view on it. It's all the stuff that was said in the '60s: peace, love, democracy, freedom, a better world, all that stuff. It's finally kicked in. You know, the way I look at it, people like Gorbachev grew up with the '60s, like we all did, and I don't think you could be unaffected by it. And I think it's all kicking in now. I think you look at those people who are coming across the border, and a lot of them are wearing denim. You know, it's us coming across that border. I think it's very exciting. I think China's next.
Are you going to play any dates in Eastern Europe now that they aren't?
Yeah, I'd like to, but we've got so many dates on this tour. But, you know, and they don't include Eastern Europe. We tried to go to Russia, but the promoter said it's too cold. So we went to Italy.
What is the tour?
Pardon?
What do you plan after the tour?
I'll be writing after the tour. I've got a lot of writing I want to do. I'm doing a very interesting thing. It's like a classical thing for an orchestra and stuff, which is due to be performed by the Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra in the Liverpool Cathedral, 1991. And that's like a serious work. So I've got a lot of writing to do for that.
What about your memoirs? When did you write your memoirs?
Yeah, I don't know, really. I always thought you had to be like about 70 before you wrote your memoirs, you know.
How do you feel when you look out into the crowd and you might see a parent that's 40 or 50 and they have their child with them and both are relating to music?
It's really beautiful. I love it, you know, because I've got 4 kids. And the great thing about me and my kids is there isn't this generation gap that I thought would be there at this time, you know.
Do you listen to any music that bothers you?
No. They don't. No, they don't, really. I know, it's strange. I expected exactly that to happen, you know, where they'd be into totally sort of dissonant punk music, and I'd sort of say, well, you know, the '60s was better. But they're not. My son loves his big new turn-on album I turned him on to was Pet Sounds, which is a total classic album in my view. And he loves James Brown, Otis Redding, the Commodores. He's got some good taste. What am I listening to? That kind of stuff. I listen to everything, you know. I listen to all sorts of things. Pardon?
Are you surprised how many young people are responding on the tour and the concerts here?
Well, kind of, but in a way, you know, a couple of years ago, though, you started to see the Grateful Dead, and these kids that I knew who've been, like my nephews who were growing up, who I've seen since they were like 2, they're sort of all now, they're like 18 now, you know, they're all like a deadhead, man. And I feel, well, you know, I mean, that's incredible, you know. It's, I think, you know, maybe it is because some modern music is a little bit synthetic and shallow, that they're looking back to the 60s. And the great thing about a lot of that 60s stuff is it does stand up still, like lyrically. Pardon? Yeah, they are, but I've always said, Linda and I have always said that we'd never push them, because it's a tough game, this, you know, and unless they're really keen. But they're all very good, they're all very interested in music, and they all can carry a tune and stuff.
I know James and Stella are traveling with you right now. Would you ever invite either of them on the stage?
Not really. You know, it's too sort of show busy, that, you know, that kind of thing. I know a lot of people do that. But if they really desperately wanted to do it, then I'd help them. But it's got to come from them, you know. I'm not going to push them on the stage because, you know, they say it's a tough game.
Are you going to inspiration for the...
Are you going to... in the 60s with the thrill of performing today?
It's strangely similar, actually. You know, that crowd last night was strangely 60s. It's very good, you know. But you can hear yourself now with the new technology. Yeah, I mean, you know, when we started out, I mean, you compared to all this equipment here, you've got like, it's like Cape Canaveral out there. But I mean, when we started out, it was like 2 guitars and a bass in 1 amp.
Thoughts about playing in the Palace for the World Championship, Detroit Pistons in front?
What do we got to do?
As far as playing in the Palace, you're on your world tour. The Pistons are the world champion NBA.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about that, playing?
Well, I understand 2 of them are coming tonight. So it'd be nice to meet them, you know. Linda's a big basketball fan.
When you have a chance to get away from this for a few minutes, kind of ponder what's going on in the world, and get a chance to think about it as Paul McCartney, the father, is there anything that strikes you as something that you would like to really affect, if you could, given a man of your stature and your access?
Well, the thing we're doing on this tour is mentioning the environment issues a lot. I mean, I'm no expert, but I've got 4 kids, as I said, you know, and you see things like this Exxon spill and, you know, how well they cleaned up. Joke, you know. And I don't think anyone wants that to happen. I don't think anyone wants the ozone hole to get any bigger. But, you know, I'm like everyone else. It's kind of, well, the government will fix it. Someone will fix it for us. But I think last year it became apparent that no one's going to fix it. And we've got to, like, you know, address the problem. So that's what I'm doing, really. The opportunity here, I'm on these cameras with you press people, you know, and I'm mentioning it just to give the issues publicity, because I really think we've got to get serious on all that stuff, you know. Friends of the Earth are basically trying to clean up the planet. Instead of putting your toxic waste in your water, instead of blowing a hole in the sky, instead of having acid rain. I mean, if someone had told me when I was a kid that when I grew up, the land would have poisons in it, the rain would have acid in it, the sky would have a hole in it, I wouldn't have believed them. But here we are, you know, and we're at that point now. So my hope is going into the next century that we really address that problem and really get the planet straight. I mean, my point of view is that we are definitely the species that's won, right? Man has definitely beat all other animals hands down, no question. So what I'd like to see is us now be cool dudes with that fact, and instead of which we're still blasting the hell out of them, you know. I think it's time, we should just recognize we've won, and we ought to be decent champions, you know.
Is that organization also getting into, there's a big controversy over garbage, there's too many landfills and it's causing a lot of problems?
I think they're basically just trying to address some of the more serious problems we've got ourselves into, you know. We're the only species of animals on Earth that fouls its own nest. Everybody else, you know, all the other birds and stuff, they go over there to take a dump. But we don't. We do it right here, right where we live, you know. We put all our toxic waste into our lakes and stuff. I mean, Britain's got this great business where we accept waste from, like, Japan and stuff. And all we do, we put it in cans and put it under the sea. And they say it'll be all right for 100 years. And I said, what about 101 years when it blows up? You know, what's going to happen? So, I mean, I think we've got to be cleverer. I think we're clever enough to address all of that. But, you know, it's going to take some doing.
What was your inspiration for the presentation before the concert? And going about putting the film footage together?
I talked to Richard Lester, who's the guy who made Hard Day's Night and Help. And we were thinking of having a support act before the tour, before our act. But the promoters told me that was going to get difficult. So I suggested, well, how about if we do a film? And I rang Dick Lester, and I said to him, could you do a film that kind of said, first there was the Beatles, then there was Wings, and then there was Now? And he said, let me think about it. And he came back with that film, which I like. You know, it's kind of uncompromising. It's a very grown-up film. Gives people to go home, something to think about.
Are you going to change the show when it comes to stadiums?
We'll yeah, magnify it a little bit, because, you know, it does, this style of show is fine in an arena like this, but when you get 40,000 arenas, it starts to look a little small. So we'll just make it bigger, but basically keep the same show. Basically.
There's been a flood of unreleased Beatles recordings, very high quality, the ultra rare tracks you probably heard about.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on that, about the release of those things, and would you like to see EMI release them officially?
That's kind of a difficult question. You know, it's like, as far as the Beatles were concerned, we released all our good material, except for maybe one or two little things that we just, at the time, we didn't like. There are one or two tracks that I think are worth looking at. Leave My Kitten Alone, John sings, which I think that's very good. There are a couple of other things we do. But in the main, we released all our best material, so... But, you know, it's like memorabilia. People just like it, you know, even if there's like a track that was the take we didn't use or something. So I suppose, you know, if people are interested, it's fair enough. I mean, I don't get uptight about bootlegs, you know, what are you going to do?
Is this band going to go into the studio with you?
I'd like to, yeah. We'd like to do that, you know. We'll have a live album from this tour before we do, so that'll be the next release, I think.
We have a couple more questions and we've got to go.
Stones, you know, we're getting up there kind of thing, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, I feel 27, not 47.
Will you be able to rock and roll after you're 50, do you think?
I think there's probably his life after 50, yeah.
Well, of all the songs you've written, and there's hundreds of them, what would be your favorite if you still have them?
It's a very difficult question. I mean, I musically, I might say Here, There, and Everywhere. But as far as success is concerned, it has to be Yesterday. Because it's just done more than I could have ever hoped for, you know?
Does yesterday mean something different to you now than before?
Yesterday sure does, yeah. When I was 20, or whatever it was when I wrote it, I was 20-year-old singing I'm Not Half the Man I Used to Be. Which was like, you know, fairly presumptuous for a 20-year-old. Now, at 47, it means something.
Did you ever think you'd be rocking now? Did you think you'd be...
I didn't think we'd be still rocking now, but the great thing, as I say, is you look at, well, I think what a lot of us have done recently is you look at people like Muddy Waters, and you think, it didn't matter that he was 70, you know, still singing the blues. And I think instead of a youth-orientated thing, it's become a music-orientated thing. So I think as long as you can still deliver, I think kids... I mean, you look at the age of these audiences, I'm very surprised. You know, there's so many young people. I thought it just would be my age group, mainly. But there's a lot of young kids, and they know the material, you know.
What are they going to use for nostalgia?
Thanks very much. We've got to go.
I don't know. Well, I was talking about to my kids about that. You tell me. What song's going to be remembered?
It's going to recycle out.
It's going to be, I don't know, some rap song that we'll all remember. I don't know.
Are you enjoying it up there, Paul?
Yeah, it's great. I really am.
How do you like
Good
music
fun.
now?
How do I like what?
How do you like your music today?
My music, I still like it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Russ Gibb, the man who started the premature Paul is dead rumor.
Yeah.
After he passed along the fact that the rumors of his premature death are indeed rumors, and he's alive and well teaching at Dearborn High School.
Oh, really? Good. Say hello from me, won't you?
Thanks very much.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right.
Paul, I brought my pregnant wife last night. We're birthing the kid in honor.
Second or two. When his limo finally left, small crowds surrounded the car just hoping for a peek of a man that they adore. Those few seconds made some people feel like they were 16 again. A couple of teenagers with stars and a couple of middle-aged women with tears.
dancing in a figure of eight. next song we'd like to do was composed this morning, actually, by Hamish while you finished his music. Thank you. I'd like to dedicate especially to three Mr. Man, George Ringo, and John Cleese. But this next song's got the same album. This is a nice rousing to it. Goes like this. good brother. Good brother. I'll tell you the idea. We've been given a platform. That's what we do in these concerts around the world. So these people come friends of the air. The idea is, if you read about them in the book, and if you like what they say, next time you get a chance to go, just tell your politicians you want to live with a clean world. You make me cry. We don't do that. We away.